and welcome to Keys to the Game presented by Ally. I'm Tori Petrie alongside Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara. Guys, it is so good to be back at Ford Field. It is the Lions' second preseason game, but it is their home opener. I was walking into the stadium today and thinking, we are really back to football now.
Well, yeah, and the way they left the stadium last year, beating the heck out of the Green Bay Packers in the last game, even though it didn't do anything for them, it was just a cool environment. It really was a neat way to finish it up. Now we got a whole new regime starting over.
You know, I think going to Oakland last year, I think you appreciate kind of the pregame stuff they do here in Detroit, and obviously, you know, the fan atmosphere, the introductions, the whole bit. They really do it right here in Detroit. And, you know, we've been obviously to a lot of different places, seen a lot of those things. Detroit does it one of the best in terms of their pregame activities and kind of getting everybody ready for kickoff.
And also, it looks like it's nice to be in a stadium. It doesn't look like it's built from spare parts. So.
Exactly, and it's good to be indoors with the rain outside this afternoon. So we thank you guys for tuning in to this Keys to the Game. Usually on this segment during the regular season, we'll tell you what key things the Lions need to do to win. But since it is the preseason and winning isn't exactly the ultimate goal here, it's getting better, we're going to tell you our key things to watch for in this game. So Tim, we'll start with you. What is the key thing to watch for you in this game?
Well, you still do feel better about yourself if you win the game.
Of course.
But, you know, yeah, you're right.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
For me, the one thing I'm looking at is this pass rush with Detroit. You know, last week in Oakland, there were 0 sacks in the scorecard.
Sure.
There was 1 quarterback hit, and there were very few pressures. Now, look, they're not scheming up. Ziggy Ansah didn't play, and so you have to take that into account. But if you're a coach, you want guys to win individual matchups. You know, you want them to create pressure on their own when you're not scheming. We just did not see enough of that last week, and so I think early on in this game, that's one thing I'm going to be looking for. Can guys win some of those individual matchups? Can they, you know, get New York quarterbacks off their spot? And if we have Ziggy Ansah playing tonight, obviously all eyes on him to see kind of where he's at after missing the first week.
My key thing to watch for kind of plays off of yours. In addition to the pass rush, I'd like to see that front seven be better at stopping the run than they were last week. Obviously, between that first and second preseason game, you want to see a little bit of improvement, and I think that was one of the areas that they needed to improve in. That Marshawn Lynch run got called back, but he bounced outside and had a huge run there. You don't want to see any of that tonight.
You know, and real quickly with that, too, you know, we talk about Ziggy in terms of his pass rush, but he is one of the best, in my opinion, on the edge against the run, too. And so when he's not playing, they miss him in that department as well, just to go along with your point.
Mike?
Well, it's kind of fun just listening, really. Now I got to talk. No, you know what? This is pretty simple. Carry on, Johnson. Keep carrying. Look, he had 7 runs last week and 4 catches, and he really showed why they drafted him in the second round. Maybe they got a good value pick there in the second round. Not only that, though, I thought the entire running game showed some things. Amir Abdul in particular, I think he's raised his stock as a runner, receiver out of the backfield, just a good pro who can do a lot of things, return kickoffs now, return punts, but I really do want to see more of Kerryon Johnson. Now look, I'd like to see 20 carries, 10, yeah, let's be realistic. Just enough to give the crowd a little bit of a sizzle, and me too.
Well, I think with that too, if you look at the strength of this New York Giants football team, it's probably the front 7 on defense. So if he gets some play early on in this game, it'll be interesting to see how both he and that Lions run game can match up against, you know, a strength of New York's.
Yeah, and I want to see him get loose in the secondary. He looks like a runaway thoroughbred when he's going, and he's spinning, he's turning, he's jumping. I just think he's got something a little bit of special.
Sure. Well, guys, it is good to be back at Ford Field, and we are excited for this second preseason game tonight. We thank you for tuning in to Keys to the Game. So for DetroitLions.com, Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara, I'm Tori Petrie.